Hello, Grade 9 Religion. This is your intro video for Unit 4 called Be Loving. We're basically going to discuss in the unit the different premises around love, what it is, issues around sex, what the Bible teaches us about love and relationships, and how we're supposed to develop those. There is a lot of textbook work you'll see when we open up. So first we want to open up the guide. When we get in here, we can see that there's one project at the end of the unit is your Instagram project. I'll explain that when we get to the end of it. Everything else is basically going to be marked for completion. There is a fair bit of textbook work. Textbook work generally means test. So stuff that we're working on from the textbook, we're going to want to be able to make some good notes on and know it. Don't just go in and fill in the blanks. Make sure we know this material so that we understand it. Question and answers. This is the page 72 of your textbook, and questions regarding that reading 76 through 77. This talks about moral decision making, how we come up with moral decisions, how we make those decisions. I've got a presentation here that shows the Catholic teaching around moral development and how it is that we're supposed to make decisions and where our conscience comes from and how we incorporate that into our decision making, the use of scripture, teachings from our faith. Okay, so that can help in terms of answering these questions. There's some good images in there, some good videos about how to make moral decisions. More on conscience here, so we can learn about conscience, how your conscience works. That's also in that moral decision-making presentation. There's a lot more on conscience and what your conscience is, what the definition of that conscience is, and how that works. More on developing our conscience, where that comes from, some definitions, magisterium, humility, humble, self-centered, arrogant. These are things we have definitions for. Use your textbook, come up with formal definitions, but be able to explain these and know what they are in your own words. What is our conscience? Some more reading here on how we make decisions, how we use our conscience to do that. And here's a good diagram for where these decisions come from, how we make these decisions. So God speaks through Scripture. It comes into our personal experience, our prayer, and our relationships, and this helps us build our conscience. God speaks, we see, we judge, we act, we evaluate. That goes into our conscience. Our conscience affects the way we see, judge, act, and evaluate. So it's kind of cyclical. But this is a very good diagram that shows us what kinds of influences go into our conscience and then how our conscience influence our actions. Where a lot of these teachings come from our faith, from Scripture, from Catholic tradition, from the magisterium. So this is a very good diagram. Make sure that you know this and that you'd be able to label something like this for the test. This is something on sin, on how we know what sin is, where it came from, what is the Catholic. We all kind of know sin is maybe doing something bad, 10 Commandments, but what is sin? This goes a little bit more in depth into what it is. Okay, there's a little reflection here where we're going to define sin using your own words. So just a little bitty paragraph there on that. More read and answer, explaining a little bit more readings from Paul's letters to the Corinthians, evaluating relationships, abuse, what is proper love in a relationship, what is a loving relationship, where does love come from? More textbook work on a little bit of the debate about why waiting, the debate whether to have sex or not to have sex, chastity. The church's teachings are obviously that they want us to be chaste until we get married. Where does that teaching come from? Why is that important? So disagree or agree on the matter, that's up to you. But this is a little bit of the argument and how the church teaches it and what their stance is and how we're supposed to make that decision. A little more discussion on chastity, how let us learn the basic skills for knowing how to love. More work from the textbook. Okay, and then we come down to the final assignment for the unit. We're going to kind of put all that teaching from the textbook to practice, and we are going to write an Instagram project. Okay, if you don't have Instagram and you don't want to use this, that's fine. We can figure out another way to do it. You can do a PowerPoint, but I want it to be something visual, something that incorporates 5 pictures then and gives us examples of love. Okay, each of the 5 pictures, this is very important, must have a description of the love that you're showing. What kind of love is it? How does this picture show love? What is the importance here? And I want it just to say, I don't want it to just say this shows love because it's 2 people being nice to each other. I want it to have very specific examples of the information and ideas dealing with love. So when we answered all these questions about, how we learn love, how does sex demonstrate love, how is that attached to love, how do we learn the definition for love, where it comes from, I want that learning incorporated into your explanations of these pictures. Okay? So I don't want it to just be a picture, this is one person that loves another person, this is why it's love. No. Explain to me, why is that love? What is it? What is the Catholic teachings around love? Show me knowledge here. Okay? We want it to be fairly creative. If you're just cutting and pasting images from Google Images, take your own pictures. Find me a cartoon. Find me something that visually is creative that makes that connection for you to your learning. Okay. So that's everything for the assignments and the assessments. And then I just want you to do a journal entry that shows that you can explain conscience. When was something that was weighing on your conscience? Did you ever do something wrong and you knew it was wrong and it was weighing on your conscience? How did you deal with it, or did you not deal with it at all? Okay, but I just want you to do a little bit of a journal entry about a specific time in your life where you used your conscience. Okay, and that's the unit. Again, if you don't have Instagram and you want to choose something else for this assessment, feel free to do so, but make sure that you discuss that with me. And again, most important thing, make sure that your pictures demonstrate learning from all of this textbook work that we did. We did it for a reason. I want you to demonstrate learning. I want specific examples from things that you learned from that textbook work about what love is. Okay, thank you.